What's going on, guys? We're back. Welcome to another edition of the WCW Nitro Podcast. I'm your host. I'm Notorious One. I am Dom, and I'm here with my brother all the way down in Delaware. I'm here with BDC. BDC, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Man, what's good? It's good to be back. It's been a while.
Yes.
But yeah, it's definitely good to be back. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You know, we're hot right now. We're producing a lot of content. We keeping
Yep.
busy. That's why, Nitro's been a little behind, but we know what happened. So it is what it is.
Yep.
We're here. We're doing it now, and we're going to keep bringing you content.
Yes, indeed.
So, all right. So today we're going to take it to January 15th, 1996, Miami, Florida. We got Mongo, Eric Bischoff, and Bobby the Brain Heenan on commentary, as usual.
Course.
And they announced that Sting will go against Ric Flair for the WCW title, and Hogan will be taking on a member of the Dungeon of Doom. And they announced that Randy Savage, the Macho Man that is going to get a shot at the winner of Sting and Ric Flair. So it's pretty interesting to kick off the show, though. Okay.
Yep. They had a lot of news in the beginning, which is kind of out of character at this point. But they will come to do this more later on. But it was really out of character at this point.
Yes. All right. Well, our opening match, we have the total package Lex Luger taking on the Macho Man Randy Savage. And you already know Savage already has an issue with Luger. He don't trust Luger whatsoever.
Nah, not at all.
So Luger tried to get a chair, and he throws it in the ring, and Savage, he catches the chair, and the ref stops him. Like, no, you can't use the chair. You can't use the chair. Then Lex Luger, he took advantage, and he started beating up Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yep.
So it was this is more a brawl than a match itself, because Savage, he went for the big elbow and he missed. And long story short, Luger put him in a torture rack, and Macho Man loses cleanly.
Yep, sure did.
Wow.
He passed out. He passed out in the rack. At this point, I put in notes, it says Luger is embracing the whiny heel role in this match. And he truly was. He you just didn't imagine that a guy of his size would be doing the whiny heel, but he did quite well in it. At this point it's been a lot of back and forth. Who's he aligned with? Who's he not? What's his deal with Sting? Yada yada yada. Macho, Hogan, none of them really like him, and he's really starting to kind of embrace that role, and it showed at least in the beginning of the match. Towards the end, it was at least to be a surprise that he won clean. I thought that there would be some type of interference or something like that, but no, he lost clean as hell, and I was like, oh, okay, alrighty then. But yep, that's how it went.
It's
Luger wins.
It's rare we see Zuntai.
Thank you.
It's rare that we see the Macho Man miss an elbow. Have you ever seen Macho Man miss an elbow?
No. I've seen him get cracked in the ribs coming off the top rope, but not actually missing the elbow. I've not seen that often.
Yeah. I was trying to think about it. I was like, I don't recall.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, after this, Mean Gene, he's out there. It's time for our Mean Gene segment. He's out here with the Four Horsemen and the Dungeon of Doom. And Arn Anderson, he's talking to Kevin Sullivan. And they said that himself and Kevin Sullivan, they had a meeting of the minds and that they are going to squash their beef. And then Kevin Sullivan said that he respects Ric Flair and he's going to allow them, the Four Horsemen that is, to borrow the Giant at Clash of the Champions. So they got one motive, and that is to stop Hulkamania.
Indeed. I think at this point, they really were trying hard to end Hulkamania, which anybody knows this is a running theme for his entire career. Mm-hmm. Everyone's looking to end Hulkamania. And in this instance, Arn Anderson and Kevin Sullivan decided that, a united front is best. It is interesting to note that once again, our boy the former Flying Brian Pillman, who's now starting to more so embrace the loose cannon role, started running off in the mouth and proceeded to get smacked in it by Double A.
Yes.
which was loud.
Yes, it was. So Kevin Sullivan, who was telling Arn Anderson was on the mic. He's representing the Horsemen.
Yep.
And Sullivan representing the Dungeon of Doom as he should. And Sullivan said that he does not respect Brian Pillman, and he has no respect for him because he is not Horseman material. And just like you said, Brian Pillman, he's run off in the mouth, and Arn Anderson, he's getting pissed off, and he slapped the living taste out of his mouth.
5-finger sit in the face.
That's exactly what happened to Brian Pillman. He's sitting there holding his mouth like,
wow, holding his face like a bruised little boy, and that I was like, I didn't see that coming. But yeah, after that, it was pretty much like, you know what? Now you see, I mean business.
Yeah.
I mean business. And Double A showed that he meant business in that moment.
Yes. All right. Well, our next match, we have a debut of a new tag team to World Championship Wrestling. We have Public Enemy, Johnny Grunge and Rocco Rock. They're making their debuts, and they are taking on IDM Pod guests, Buff Bagwell or Marcus Alexander Bagwell and Scotty Riggs, known as the American Males.
Yep.
And watching this match, it was nothing special. No. And Public Enemy got the win. Johnny Grunge wins by holding the handful of tights.
Yep.
Nothing special whatsoever.
Yeah, it was literally just ho-hum. And, you know, Public Enemy got a decent run out of ECW, right? But, you know, come over to WCW, there was a little bit of fanfare, and it was quickly extinguished with that first match. There was nothing about that match that showed them having any real potential other than a gimmick tag team, unfortunately. It just didn't. And I mean, you have the American Males who are up and coming, and this was kind of their chance to go in there and establish themselves as, okay, we've been doing this thing a lot longer than you. Let's go out there and show you how it's done. And none of that. It felt like it was just thrown in there to give the Public Enemy a debut. Didn't really feel like much after that.
Yeah. Well, the match was nothing special, but it's what happened after the match. After the match, Johnny Grunge, he sets up 2 tables. They stack them on top on one another, and they put Bagwell on top of the table, and Rock flips and takes out Bagwell through the 2 tables.
Hence the gimmick.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the gimmick. They are, they are hardcore. Everyone that they brought in from the ECW indie type scene, that's what they've done. They basically threw them all in the hardcore realm. Between Sabu basically pulling out chairs and tables at the end of every one of his matches, and now Public Enemy doing the exact same thing. That's essentially what they're doing. They get these guys from ECW, and they are on this hardcore shtick, and that's what WCW is doing with them.
Yep. So they got a decent amount of tag teams here at the time, but it seemed like they only focused on American Males, and you might see the Dungeon of Doom every now and then. Like,
right?
No Harlem Heat. I'm not sure I'm not sure. Yeah. Have we talked about the Nasty Boys?
No. Look, no tag team champions.
I don't remember who the tag team champions were at this time.
Yeah, you don't really hear about the Nasty Boys. You don't hear about Lord Steven Regal, David Taylor, Robert Eaton. You don't hear about them. There's a lot of, they had quite a few tag teams that just wasn't getting any airtime on Nitro. It wasn't getting any airtime at all, quite frankly. I don't know. I don't understand the logic. I mean, I guess because it is an hour show, you just want to kind of advance the storyline. So the people that are involved with the storylines will be the people that you try to put on the show. But you also have WCW Saturday Night, where you could put some of these guys on. You have dark matches that are being taped for Saturday night or other shows, which I don't know if they had any other shows at that point in time, but they're taping dark matches that you could put these guys on. The tag team division was not getting a whole lot of shine at this time. It was mainly this angle with the Dungeon of Doom and Hogan. And the dark matches were mainly for the TV title matches that should have been airing on TV, but that's the whole story we talk about time in and time out every week. It's nothing new.
It's the Hogan show. That's exactly what it is. Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, and they have a surrounding cast of Lex Luger, Sting, and Macho Man Randy Savage.
Nothing else works for me, brother.
That's it. All right, well, our next match, we have Sting taking on Ric Flair, the Nature Boy. And this was a good match, probably the match of the night. And Jimmy Hart, he kept getting involved. Then Luger finally comes down to the ring, and he tells Jimmy Hart, leave my friend alone. And Sting goes for the Stinger Splash, and Flair moves, and he accidentally takes out Lex Luger. And then Ric Flair takes advantage, hits the figure four, and he gets the win.
Yep. Again, Luger. Yeah, this kind of, we're now 20 episodes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're 20 episodes in, essentially 4-5 months of airtime. Pay-per-views, all of that. This Luger Sting thing is still going strong. It has yet to culminate in a match between the two that I can recall, but it has caused constant chaos to everything around them. And at this point now, Luger has cost him a match against Flair. Luger has cost him a championship. Luger is costing Sting a lot. And it all comes to a head eventually. It just hasn't yet. But yeah, it's kind of like that story with Scott Norton and Shark, that we were just looking around like, why is this still going? That's kind of where this goes. And here's a spoiler for anyone who's watching. This angle does not die anytime soon. Anybody who's seen Nitro already knows this, but if this is your first time, really checking the episodes and kind of listening to commentary on the episodes, let me be the first to tell you, this angle goes on for a really long time. It just does.
All right, well, after the match, Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage, they run down to the ring, and then they clear the ring. When after this, Mean Gene comes out, and they keep saying Lex Luger is the reason why Sting isn't the World Heavyweight Champion.
Not wrong.
Luger is holding Sting down.
Not wrong.
Hogan said that him and Savage has a problem. That this is the fourth time Luger beat him, and that Hogan said that that he should be the one to take the title. And next, Hogan and Savage, they're arguing, and then Savage walked away.
I mean, there was a whole lot of not wrong there. There's a whole lot of not wrong. Luger has beaten Savage on a number of occasions. And what's fact is fact. That's what happened. And then, like you said, he lost quite cleanly in this match. So it's like, what do you do at this point? It's like, how do you keep giving the guy who keeps losing that chance at the title just because he was champion? He's on a losing streak at this point. He's not winning. He's got a losing record against Lex Luger. And, Luger's trying to get into that title picture too. What do you do?
Yeah. Well, Savage walked away. Hogan walks away. Next knows main event time, and Hogan comes back. He should just stay in the ring.
Because that's what the hell WCW does, and I do not understand it for the life of me. You allowed him to walk away and then play the music just to come right back down to the ring.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they do it.
Just to get the pop, that's all.
But the thing is, you get the pop when they come out the first time. It's just, it's so extra. Yeah. It's really extra.
That's WCW for you.
Yep.
All right, well, in our main event, we have Hulk Hogan taking on a member from the Dungeon of Doom, and that member is Meng.
Yeah.
And as soon as Meng and Kevin Sullivan walk down to that aisle, walk down to the ring, they start kicking the damn cameraman on the way to the ring. I guess he was just at the wrong place at the wrong time, so I don't know.
Figured he had to beat somebody up tonight.
Yeah. Well,
spoiler.
Meng, he's basically beating up Hogan throughout the whole match. Mm-hmm. Kevin Sullivan, he's getting involved real early throughout the match. And long story short, they try to spike Hogan, but Macho comes out of nowhere and he helps Hogan, and Hogan gets the win. Savage and Hogan, they were beefing earlier, but he came back to save Hogan from getting spiked.
To the surprise of absolutely no one. This was peak Hogan, where that creative control that you hear about was just in play full tilt. Hogan wasn't losing to anybody. And I mean, don't get me wrong, Meng was just another case. And it's a shame because of the wrestler that Meng is, that he was just fed to Hogan. Like, you could have given him Hugh Morris, you could have given him any other member of the dungeon. Hell, you could have brought the Yeti back and let him face him and beat him. I mean, you could have done any number of those things, but you're just feeding Hogan right now. You're feeding his rise to the championship, and that's what it is. That's what it is.
Hogan wrestled the same match for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was.
Yep.
But
he wrestled the same match. He's always in the same dynamic. He's always going to be main event. He's always going to be in the title picture, even if he doesn't necessarily deserve to be. He's always going to be there. That creative control that he gained from signing on to WCW, it basically carried with him the rest of his career. He had some creative license in WWF. He had some, mm-hmm. not as much as he got with joining WCW, and certainly what he had afterwards. Because I mean, when he came back to WWE, he had creative control too. There were some things that he didn't want to do that didn't happen, and then TNA, forget it. TNA, he just ran the ship there. So, but I mean that's his career. That's his career.
They used his name and they ran with it.
Yep. His name was money, and as long as his name was money, he called the shots.
Well, that concludes WCW Monday Nitro. So, BDC, what are your thoughts on the show right here? It was a short show.
It was a very short show, and I think outside of Sting and Jimmy Hart, the Sting and Flair with Jimmy Hart, I think that this show was not worth the paper it was written on. I think that you have got to utilize more of the talent you have. There is nothing wrong with progressing a storyline, right? There is nothing wrong with pushing a storyline, and right now that main storyline is Hogan, Dungeon of Doom, and everything surrounding that as far as the WCW Championship. Fair. That's fair. However, your entire show was dedicated to that storyline. The entire show. Like, we can say, oh well, Sting and Ric Flair wasn't involved. There wasn't anything involved with that. Well, yeah, there was, because Lex Luger. Lex Luger, who may be or may not be part of the Dungeon of Doom, was a part of that. And and the rest of the matches were all, it was Luger again with Savage, title picture. Then you had the interview, which was Dungeon of Doom. Then you had the match that they just threw in there just for shits and giggles. And then you had Hogan and Meng, which is the storyline. So at some point you really have to understand that you have more out there. You could actually advance multiple storylines at once and not just one big storyline that's kind of got all these things mixed up into it. Like what they did in this show. Because that's essentially what they did with the show. It's just one big storyline that ran throughout this entire show.
Yeah.
And they just basically disregarded everything else that was going on in WCW at the time.
All right, well, what was your match of the night?
Would have to be Sting Flair.
Yeah, that was definitely.
Yeah, what happened?
I ain't gonna say must watch, but yeah, that's if you're gonna watch this episode, definitely watch the Sting and Ric Flair episodes. Sting and Ric Flair match. All right, did we have any undercard, any dark matches?
No dark matches.
Really?
So yeah, Johnny B. Bad did not face Diamond Dallas Page for the US for the television title in the dark, but there were no dark matches.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on the other channel, they were in your neck of the woods, the Bob Carpenter Center, the Bob. Yeah. So Monday Night Raw was in Newark, Delaware, and the opening match they had Owen Hart taking on Marty Jannetty. I wouldn't mind seeing that. That could have been something special.
Yeah. So
might have been a dark match, but who knows?
Right. Let me give for people who have never been to the Bob. And they haven't had a event there in the last several, I think it's been probably like 16, 17 the last time they've had a match at the Bob. So when they talk about high school gym, that's essentially what the Bob. Now the Bob is a college is for the University of Delaware, so it's a college. It's a university stadium, right? But when you go inside, it is literally built like a high school gymnasium. It's rows and rows of metal lined seats, metal benches, that pull out. They basically pull out from the wall.
Oh Lord!
And and then they put seats on the floor, of course, for the sides that don't have the benches. Get start. I mean, but the amazing thing to me is that they actually recorded from there. Like that actually surprised me because they did it like 2 more times, and then last several shows that they ran were just like live shows. It just got to a point where it was not really worth recording from there anymore. But as I said, it surprised me. But then again, it was 1995 or 96.
96, yep.
So at that point, you got what you got. So, I mean, but as I said, it's just, I was just amazed now that I live here, because when I lived in Jersey, I didn't give a shit. But once I moved down here, it was crazy to think, they actually did Raws out of this place. This place is like, what the fuck? Really? I had no idea they could actually pull it off out of this place, but they did multiple times.
Is it like the 2300 Arena in Philly?
No. So the 2300 Arena in Philly has got literally the 2300 Arena in Philly, in context. When they did a TNA there, last year that I went to. They had seats. They basically have all seats because the arena itself is just an empty room.
Mm-hmm.
So they put seats in it, and it only really fits a couple of hundred people. Doesn't fit a lot of people. I mean, at least the The Bob is bigger and can probably fit closer to 1,000 people, where 1,000 people, maybe more. Whereas I really think the 2,300 arena probably is a couple of hundred people tops, especially with the TNA ring in there. That ring is kind of big. So it did not look like there was a lot of people in there, especially. But they did their whole setup, which was pretty outstanding. But yeah,
Last time Delaware had a show, do they still tour in
Um,
Delaware?
they have not had a lot. Like I said, the last live show they had in Delaware was in, I think it was, I want to say it was 2018 or 2019, maybe.
Wow.
I am not sure right off the bat. I know I went. I definitely went because every time there's a show here in Delaware, I absolutely jump at the chance because the tickets are cheap, and it gets me in. And I think the last time I went, it was literally on a Monday night. It was on a Monday night during Raw, and I was at a live show for SmackDown.
Oh, they had double taping.
They weren't taping SmackDown. It was just a live show. It was a house show.
Oh, okay.
So Raw was on while this house show was going on. So
okay.
Raw was running, and I was there with SmackDown Superstars.
Yeah, when they did the live events. Okay.
Right. So yeah, Bob Carpenter Center seats 5,000 people. It seats 5,000 people. And actually, from what I'm seeing here, the last house show for Newark was actually December 23, which I didn't even know about. I didn't even know about it. It was a Sunday night. It was a Sunday night house show. Ain't that some? I didn't even know.
You're a busy man. It's all good. Yeah. It happens. Can't go to all of them.
Yeah. Damn it.
All right. Well, our next match, we have the ringmaster, Steve Austin, taking on Matt Hardy.
Yep. He was lukewarm Steve Austin at that point. He was room temperature Steve Austin at that point.
Then we got the Smoking Guns defending their tag team championships against the Spiders, Spider 1 and Spider 2. That was an enhancement match.
That match was so...
Well, in your main event, you have The Undertaker with Paul Bearer taking on Isaac Yankem, DDS.
Wow. Interesting. So basically you had Undertaker versus pre-Kane. Okay. Probably a pretty decent match too. Again, Kane, Glenn Jacobs, is actually a pretty decent wrestler even before he became Kane. So I'm pretty sure that was a pretty decent match. And I'm pretty sure that match was one of the many reasons why they decided when they went with Kane to go with Glenn Jacobs at the role. That and the fact that even when he was doing Fake Diesel and everybody knew it was him, he actually played it pretty decently. So, yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
So, what channel are you watching? You watching USA? You watching TNT?
I'm probably switching back and forth, but I'm probably watching Raw for the main event.
No, you were not at that time in '96.
Yeah. I trust me when I tell you, I was, because at this point I was oversaturated. I was oversaturated on the Hogan Dungeon of Doom thing. It was played out for months at this point.
Okay.
It was very played out at this point. Like he had gotten his face, his mustache shaved. He had already had his matches with the Giant. He had already come through all of that, and now here we are still dealing with the Dungeon of Doom. Are you serious right now? Are you serious? Like it was over months ago, and you're still pushing this thing right now. Dungeon of Doom is just dealing with everybody that has to do with Hogan because they couldn't beat Hogan. Come on.
Well, worked in WWF, they're gonna try in WCW. That's all they're doing.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'll have to say I will watch WCW.
I know you would. As I said,
paper, it's a better card.
As I said, I'd switch back and forth. I would probably go ahead and watch that Sting match and then jump right to Taker and Isaac Yankem.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you knew anytime Hogan fought anybody, Hogan was going to win the match. So it don't even make sense to watch it at that point. You know how it's going to end. You knew how it was going to end.
Well, I was 8 years old, loving Hogan at the time, so I had to tune in to Hogan.
Yeah, I was 22.
Oof.
I was 22 and was over the fact that every time Hogan fought somebody, it was going to be a Hogan win no matter what. Yeah. I was absolutely over it.
Oh, man. All right. Well, next week on the Nitro Podcast, we are going to relive the Macho Man Randy Savage taking on Ric Flair for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. Savage beat Sting. Or no. Wait. Hold on. Savage lost to Luger. Who was the champion? Savage was champion. Okay. Right? At the time. Yeah.
No. I don't think he was.
Flair was champion.
Yeah, Flair was champion. Remember?
Hold on.
No, Macho Man was getting the winner of the Ric Flair Sting match for the title. Ric Flair won.
Okay, Ric Flair was champ. Okay.
So Macho Man got Ric Flair.
But Luger beat Macho Man. So what the hell's going on here?
Remember, that was announced before the night even started. So whether Macho won or not, he was still getting that match.
About to say, I know my notes ain't messed up. But
yeah,
geez.
he was, because I think it was champion, ex-champion prerogative for a rematch. It was champion's rematch. Because he lost his title. He lost the championship. And I think it was in his rematch clause to get it back, but he had to wait for Flair and Sting to finish so he can get whoever was left. Whoever.
And then Hogan felt that, since you lost, you shouldn't go after that.
You shouldn't have that. Okay. You shouldn't have that rematch clause because you can't beat Luger.
Yeah. All right. That makes sense now. All right. Well, after this, we have Brian Pillman taking on Dean Malenko.
Okay. All right.
I could work with that one.
Yeah, that's a decent. That would be a decent match. Yep.
Hey, BDC, we got a World Tag Team title match.
Oh shit!
We got Harlem Heat defending their tag titles against Sting and Lex Luger.
What the fuck? I mean, god damn it! You have tag teams. What is happening right now?
You don't remember? What was it? Last week when Luger said, "I'm gonna make it up to you. We're gonna go for the tag titles. We're gonna be tag team champions." There you go. They're gonna go for the tag titles tonight on Nitro.
Yeah, because there wasn't any other tag teams out there that might have actually earned the chance. So why not?
And your main event, you have Hulk Hogan taking on the One Man Gang.
This is your main event of the evening, folks. Hulk Hogan, not Sting, and Lex Luger versus Harlem Heat for a title. Hulk Hogan versus One Man Gang.
Yep, the old Akeem bringing it back. That works for me, brother.
So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, who do you think won this match?
Match went 3 minutes. Oh, Lord.
Wait, the main event with 3 minutes?
Maybe it went 3 minutes. Maybe some shenanigans. Who knows?
I don't remember Hogan getting shot. I don't remember him getting hit by a Mack truck. I don't remember him getting hit by a bus or anything like that. So the fact that this match only went 3 minutes is ridiculous. Like, I can understand if they just tied Hogan in the back and didn't allow him to come out. But 3 minutes against, don't get me wrong, the One Man Gang is the One Man Gang, and he has a type of reputation, but 3 minutes that's what you spare on the man. That's some shit. That's some shit. God damn it.
Well, that concludes episode 20. This milestone, a quarter. Well, yeah, we did a quarter of Nitro so far.
Yep. I'm gonna go on ahead and I'll pick up 21 and laugh at that one too. Okay, so
we just gonna keep on rolling, baby.
Yep, we listen. You gotta walk slow sometimes before you get to run.
Yep.
And right now we're crawling, but we gonna get there.
We gonna get there because
we know business is gonna pick up. So we definitely we're moving in the right direction. We're gonna get there. And actually, this is 96. So we're probably realistically. This is 96. Yeah, so we're moving into this territory. By the end of the year, we're going to be in this territory. And it's going to get good. And I think we'll be hitting the second hour at some point, too. Yep.
Let me see something real quick.
All right.
Oh, so after next week's episode of Nitro, they have the Clash of the Champions right afterwards. Okay. Let me see. Let me. I'm just curious to see the card. Oh, Jesus. The opening match.
I already know.
The opening match was the Nasty Boys versus Public Enemy.
See, you talked about the Nasty Boys, and here they are.
Yeah, not on Nitro though. Then after this, you get Dean Malenko and Alex Wright.
Okay.
Which could be okay. It could be a decent match.
Right.
Then you get the Taskmaster and Disco Inferno. Why? Brian Pillman and Eddie Guerrero. I dig that.
Me too. So far, the Cruiserweight matches are on point. Okay.
I don't know if you want me to spoil what's going to happen next week, but it's for the World Tag Team Championship. The Blue Bloods taking on your new Tag Team Champions, Sting and Lex Luger.
Oh, dear God. Okay.
Then you get the Mexican Heavyweight Championship, Conan taking on Psychosis.
Okay. So far, every other match is pretty decent. That tag match may be good too, but so far matches 2, 4, and 6 are potential to be really, really good. Okay.
Yep, and in your main event, you have Ric Flair and the Giant taking on Hogan and Randy Savage.
Okay.
Clash of the Champions, 1996. Clash of the Champions, 32.
So pretty much if you've never seen an episode of Nitro, and that's the main event of the Clash of the Champions, you pretty much know what's going to happen next week. You just know.
Basically, yeah.
You know.
Dungeon of Doom, Lone Giant to
Ric Flair.
To the Four Horsemen.
Mm-hmm.
We got new tag team champions next week, and we're gonna cover it all. Hell, we might even cover WCW Clash of Champions just for the hell of it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, look, I was about to say we just turned a 15-minute show into 40 just by talking some old other stuff. So why not?
Yeah, maybe we'll see. A lot of watching.
Yep.
So this is WCW Nitro Podcast. Next week on the It Doesn't Matter podcast, we are going to be talking about Clash of the Champions 8. Our Strat Facts choice. We're taking it back. And we're going to kick off the month of September. So looking forward to it.
It's gonna be a humdinger. It's gonna be a humdinger.
That's right. All right, well, until then, I'm Notorious and I'm Dom. I'm here with BDC, and we will see you guys next time. Boom.